If you're thinking about starting a YouTube channel, you're going to need some gear. So let's talk about it. Normally, I make barbecue content here on YouTube, but this is going to be more of a behind the scenes of what gear I use. Now, you might be thinking, why would I want to listen to you? Well, I'll give you 3 reasons. 1, good looking. Totally joking. First reason, I have a YouTube channel with almost 100,000 subscribers. That's like a 0.5% of all YouTube channels actually make it to this mark. Second reason, I used to work in the film industry, so whatever your favorite movie is, I have ties to working with those studios.
I'm kind of a big deal.
And lastly, the third reason, and the most important reason, is this video is free of sponsors. All the gear I'm going to recommend in today's video comes sponsor-free with money I paid out of my own pocket to purchase the gear. And that's huge because a lot of times if you were just on a camera channel, you're going to be listening to someone who not only got a camera gear sent to them for free, they're getting paid to talk to you about that camera gear. So all the cameras, the electronics, all the stuff that I'm going to share in this video is out of all my own pocket. I've done my own research, and we're just going to start more of at the entry level point. If you're starting a YouTube channel, there's really no budget behind it, and then we are going to work our way up as your channel progresses. Your channel is going to make some money, and then you can actually put that back and get some nice camera gear. So let's get started. So the first piece of gear you're going to need is going to be a camera, and usually the one I recommend starting out with is the one you already have in your pocket. I'm talking about your cell phone. Whether you're shooting with an iPhone or you're shooting with an Android, this is definitely a good place to start just because 1, you already have it, and then 2, you can start making content with it, putting it out there to see if it actually does well when you're actually putting out content. From there, if the channel takes off, cool, then you can look at upgrading to mirrorless cameras, and from there. But definitely a phone is the good place to start with. The first thing I would recommend if you're going to go the phone route is the first thing to look at is audio. Audio is super, super crucial when it comes to making YouTube videos. Right now you are hearing my voice through right here. This is basically my DJI mic. And again, I'm going to take all this gear that I use and I will list it in the description so you can check it out. This is what my voice sounds like recorded on this iPhone. And this is what my voice sounds like with the DJI mic. It really clears out all background noise and my voice is crisp, it's clear. It might be annoying, but whatever. My first tip is improve the audio, and that's going to be if you just have audio, very good audio, and then you have an iPhone, you could definitely get up and running. All right, so here is the audio case that it actually comes with. And the cool thing is this case is actually self-charging so that when you actually put the gear back in here, it'll have some indicator lights saying what charge the case has when charging up the gear. And then it has a bunch of accessories. Now, it does come with 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. The receiver is what's going to attach to the phone or the camera. And then if you are doing an interview, one of the mics would go to you, the other mic would go to the person you're interviewing. All right, so here is the audio. Now it's running in through my iPhone. And so now the audio you are hearing is actually being recorded from my iPhone. Next up, in building a rig for your phone, there is a company I found. It's called Small Rig, and they make pretty well-built parts, and they're kind of on the budget side. And that's pretty much why I was drawn to them initially, just because, budget, but I'm happy with it. And so I'll build this kit right now, and then I'll kind of explain, its purposes and whatnot. And so again, to build this rig, the first thing you have here is the cell phone case. So these cell phone cases are cell phone specific, but it is anodized aluminum. And what I really like, so see all those threads in there? So when you want to actually screw in accessories, it has them all over. So let's get the phone in here right now. And it's a very snug fit, which I like. So close that. It locks into place. I'll just leave my phone in this case just because it's very, very durable. You can still fit it into your pocket. And yeah, I like it a lot. You have these side handles, and what I like about these side handles, and they will clip in. You can, trick these out to where you can either make this, oh, start recording. It gives you a little bit better handhold. Now, if you're going to enter YouTube and do vertical content, obviously you can film like this. Your cameras are going to be here. But if you want to film horizontal style, there's no tools required to actually change anything around. So I definitely like that you don't need any tools to actually reconfigure how you're going to shoot. You have, hot shoot areas so that you can actually plug in, accessories. One of my favorite things that I like using is, let me just put this in right now so you can see what it looks like. So here is a hard drive. And then the cool thing now is when you are filming with your phone, you can then film to a external hard drive. And so that is going to be a game changer in that you're not going to have to fill up your phone with a bunch of video clips. You can record to an external hard drive. And the cool thing is you can get multiple of these just because there's more place to where you can actually mount stuff. And then what I'll find is if I actually do want to record to this, you have to get a USB-C splitter so that you can basically both have audio and you can then also record to the external hard drive. These filter mounts to where if you are shooting outside is going to be very, very bright. And so what you can do is these filters, depending on what lenses you're going to use, these will actually mount onto here. This is like a polarizing filter. And so this rig right here is definitely pretty cool when going out and shooting. And so the last thing, what I'll do if I'm going to be filming with this, and sometimes I'll use this as like my B camera and stuff like that. I don't usually shoot with a phone that much anymore. But if I do shoot with that, I'm going to install this. And what this is a quick release plate. And so when you want to actually attach it to a tripod, I'll show you what that looks like right now. Okay, so now I have the base plate on, then I can attach it just like that. And now I'm connected to my tripod. And then the cool thing is it does have this little safety switch here. This is by a company called Ulanzi. I can quickly unlock it, lift it up, and then I can record my B-roll. After I get my B-roll, I can then put it back on the tripod, lock it down, and it is good to go. So I would say a step up from an actual iPhone or an Android phone is actually going to be a mirrorless camera. And the main reason why I say that is now you have the flexibility to actually change out different lenses depending on the type of shooting that you do. So whether you do more vlog style content, different lenses are going to give you different looks. Some lenses are super cheap. Like this lens on here is maybe about 50 bucks, doesn't break the bank. But then you have lenses that, sky's the limit. This setup right here is definitely going to be more of your entry level setup. It does 4K video. Now, the brand here is Sony, and I really like Sony just because their autofocus is really good for face tracking and whatnot. You get really a crisp, nice image. I am filming what you're seeing with another Sony camera, and so that's the camera that I pretty much shoot 99% of my YouTube stuff on. But this is definitely a good B-roll camera. Very entry level. I would say this setup for both this camera and this lens was probably about $600 to $700. You do have a screen on the back here, and that screen is going to kind of display what you're seeing, what you're filming. And then the cool thing is that screen does also face forward. So definitely a good way to start. So you do have a microphone jack port right here, and you're going to feed your audio through there. You do have the mount here so that you can, again, put your quick release plate on here. You can go onto a tripod. You could take it off the tripod. Now we're at the final stop of kind of the camera gear, and this is going to be the main camera that I normally film 99% of the YouTube videos that I shoot. This is going to do 4K, but it's also going to do really nice 4K slow motion. So if slow motion is important to you, then kind of upgrading to an even better mirrorless camera going to be kind of worth it. This camera, just the body alone, runs about 3,500 bucks. And again, you don't need to even start here. Definitely don't recommend starting here. Again, start with the phone, go with some audio. If your channel picks up and you start getting passive income from the channel, then definitely consider going up to a really, really nice camera. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to trick this out right now. And again, everything is going to be in the description. So pretty much from here, I'm going to start. This is the base. This is just a camera and a lens. The lens I use on this one is a 20mm lens. So it's definitely wide angle. And what I really, really like is you can get super close when you want to get these really nice, super up close shots. You can definitely get it with that. So the first thing I'm going to put on is a matte box, and these things are actually very, very inexpensive, and it's a game changer if you're shooting outside. So the first thing what this does is this will it will come with a ring that you can fit on your lens, and then the matte box will actually go on top just like that. It does have a marker on top of here to kind of let you know what is what's center. With this matte box, if I'm shooting outside, sometimes you'll have like the sun will just put kind of streaks, and you'll kind of get these like sunspots while you're trying to film. It's very, very annoying. But then having this, it almost puts a shade over the lens. So you could, this alone here definitely dramatically improved the video quality when shooting outside. Apart from the matte box, first recommendation is definitely going the audio route. And then from there, they sell these things called cages for building up a rig. Now, the cool thing with cages is then you can mount other stuff to the cage. They do make full cages. This one is a half cage, and this will basically go, they are camera specific, and so this will mount right here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the cage right now so we can build on top of it. And then the cool thing is I like what they do is a lot of the tools they'll actually include with it. So you're not like, oh, I got to find something. They'll always have, if you're installing a handle, the tool will be built into the handle and all that stuff. So just like that. So now we have the cage on here. And then the cool thing is we can kind of build from there. So next thing I want to do is I want to install a side handle, and that's the next thing what I'm going to install right here. And so again, on these cages, you're going to have different mounts. So now I have a handle, and so now it went from like holding the DSLR to it makes it very, very easy. So if you ever need a Allen wrench, the Allen wrench to kind of hook everything else on is going to be built into here. And then the cool thing about the handle is you have extra space. If you wanted to put your audio here, if you wanted to mount something on here, it's kind of totally up to you from there. What I did, at least for my rig, is the next thing I'm going to be putting on is a monitor adapter. And so that's actually going to go right here in the front. And now from here, we have the ability to install a monitor. So now I'm going to do that. This monitor didn't really break the bank as far as, some monitors out there. Some monitors can, be over $1,000. And I'm like, I just want something that I can just see what I'm filming and it's bright and whatnot. So these brand new will be in the ballpark of around 250 bucks. I found this one used off of eBay for about 100 bucks. So I'm going to set this right here on top, and then it does have a battery pack in the back, and that is going to be used to how it kind of powers it on. And then what this camera sees is now what you're going to see on the monitor up here. How's it going? And then you can, tilt this and move it around. So whatever is filming on here is going to display on here. Was I on there? I'm pretty sure I was. So anyway, that's pretty much my setup with that. And the last thing is I would put my audio and hook the audio in, and then I'm ready to go. So definitely a lot different from my normal barbecue videos, but I definitely get a lot of friends in the barbecue community, and they'll reach out saying, hey, what gear should I get, or what audio, this and that. So everything I talk about today in today's video is going to be all in the description. Now, we are going to be celebrating hitting 100,000 subscribers very, very soon. So if you aren't subscribed, do consider subscribing, because we are right around the corner from an epic, epic giveaway. And if you do have any questions about gear or audio or anything techy or geeky, this is going to be your video to drop a comment. Again, very, very different from my normal barbecue videos, but I figure, you know what, if you are interested in the BTS stuff, because dude, I love seeing how things are made. That's just me. Might not be your cup of tea, but if it's not, you're not even watching this part, so it doesn't matter. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Girl Sergeant out.